What is up, guys? DVSI #1 here, and today, ladies and mother trucking gentlemen, I am here today with another Who Would Win. Yeah, we're back with another episode. And today's episode is a very interesting one that both me and a certain friend of mine wanted to do together. Don't worry for the ones who voted for Natsu versus Naruto. I will find someone to help me with that sometime soon. But for the time being, enjoy this one. And so I'd like to introduce my good friend, Dominic Anderson. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing alright, thank you.
Very good, very good. Thank you for joining me on my show.
Well, you're fine,
Okay then. So, Mr. Dominic Anderson, who will you be talking about today?
Today, I'll be talking about Kirby.
Ooh, very good. So you're defending Nintendo's Pink Warrior.
Well, who wouldn't like he's like the cutest thing ever created.
I do not disagree with that. But today I am talking about Mokujin, who is a very famous character from the recent games of Tekken. All the way from probably Tekken 5 to Tekken 7, Mokujin's been a very interesting character. And the reason why we're doing these two characters today is because they both have the ability to copy other people's, well, abilities. So, Mr. Dominic Anderson, would you like to tell us about Kirby's origins?
Well, there's not much to explain, but so the games, they don't really explain anything, but the anime kind of explains it. Because in the anime, Kirby is in space, in which he's in this ship that's shaped as a star, aka the Starship, and he was sleeping in it. And then one day, like a meteor crashed into it, which made it turn on fire, and Kirby accidentally crashes into Dreamland, and so in the anime, Kirby ends up living with Tiff, Tuff, and their family until it gets fixed. But spoiler alert, he stays in Dreamland throughout the entire time, mostly because King Dedede is too lazy to even fix it.
And that's the origins of how Kirby came to be?
Well, that's his origins, like I said. The anime didn't really explain it that much, and so with the games, because the games didn't really explain really much either. I know it's kind of stupid on Nintendo's part, but it's just the way it is.
Rightio then. So for Mokujin's origins, one, I have to say it like this. One day, during a great evil that was bestowing upon the earth, Heihachi Mishima's father rose from the grave, and his evil spirit awoke the nice and gentle spirit of the Mokujin, because Mokujin is a nature spirit of sorts. He used to be a magical tree until he was carved into a training dummy for martial artists, and given the purpose of stopping a great evil such as the evil Mishima. Mokujin's dream and only mission was to stop the evil Mishima and bring peace to the world. And that's the story of Mokujin.
That's actually really good and interesting.
And it's thanks to the PSP Tekken game, Tekken Dark Resurrection, that's how we know of his origins. Because in the epilogue, which means like, I don't know, like before before the fight or before this main part, in the epilogue it explains his origins. So there we go. Those are the origins of both our candidates for this fight. And now that we said the origins, we have to move on to the stats. And the first stat today is speed. Now on to speed. So, Mr. Dominic Anderson, would you like to tell us the greatest feat of speed Kirby has ever done?
Well, there are two speed types here. In the anime, Tiff calls for the Warp Star, and the Warp Star goes past Kirby. Kirby catches up to it, and that's quite impressive since he is not really fast normally. He is also really fast when he gets the wheel copy ability, and with that ability, Kirby turns into a wheel, and he can roll really fast. I know that's not a whole lot, but that's just the way it is.
So he spins like a wheel, very fast in one direction, kind of like a certain blue hedgehog.
Well, that's kind of true, but he can jump while he's in the wheel form as well.
So can Sonic while he's a ball.
Well, that's true, but just saying.
It's okay, I was just teasing. So,
I knew you were, considering how much you know. Okay, I'll stop.
So, question: how fast is the Warp Star normally?
Well, if you watch the anime, okay, in the games, Warp Star is kind of slow. Like I don't know. Like in the games, it's like 15 miles an hour, and that's quite slow. But in the anime, Dane is it fast. Like that one episode. I think it was episode 2 where they were fighting this giant plant monster. And while the Warp Star, that Warp Star went like over almost like 100 miles an hour. And surprisingly, Kirby was able to catch up to it.
So Kirby's just able to go at or just over 100 miles per hour, you're saying?
Well, that's around that. Anyway, yeah.
That's impressive. Okay, so for Mokujin's speed, well, Mokujin has two types of speed. If he wants to fly, he can use his copy ability to use Devil Jin's flying style to fly, because Devil Jin has wings. That's why he's called a devil. Because apparently some devils have wings, which makes no goddamn sense. But anywho, thanks to the Devil Jin copy ability, Mokujin can fly at near enough, almost near the speed of sound. But that's only when using the full potential of the Devil Gene inside of his body. And because Mokujin's a good spirit, he doesn't like to use evil energy, so he can, I don't know, normally keep up with a stunt plane, I guess, if I was to do a comparison. But his running speed, when he copies Yoshimitsu's ninja running ability, he's fast enough to dodge Gatling gun bullets, and the average Gatling gun fires a bullet at over 150 miles per hour. While I know dodging and running aren't really the same thing, but Yoshimitsu was able to keep ahead of those bullets, and Mokujin can go as fast as Yoshimitsu, So that means he's just able to run faster than someone can turn in a Gatling gun. But I don't know what his average speed normally would be, but thanks to those two abilities, he can go at any speed he likes, or near enough. But it depends on which terrain. If it's on floor, he'll use the Yoshimitsu ability, but if it's in air, he'll use the Devil Jin ability. Oh, that was a mouthful.
I agree, that was quite a bit of a mouthful, but that's awesome information.
Yeah, because I don't really think there's any other Tekken characters that are that fast. The only other character who might be almost...
Unless it's Law, because he's quite fast.
Funny thing, I was just about to say that.
Well, it looks like I took the words out of your mouth then.
You thief! Give my words back.
Okay, I'll give it back to you.
Nearly choked. Okay then, looks like we're gonna have to discuss later whose speed is better, won't we? Because that one's a bit controversial at the moment. Anywho, now the next one and now we're on to strength. So, Dominic, what's the greatest feat of strength Kirby has ever done?
Well, I know I keep on saying this a lot, but in the anime, there was this one episode where, like, King DDD, he steals, like, a lot of food, especially in Kirby's, well, it's not really Kirby's house, but, you know, Tips and Tuff's house. And, yeah, and King DDD's there as well, and, well, Kirby gets mad, and he lifts up King DDD and somehow throws him. I don't know how in the heck that works. That's quite impressive, considering that King DDD is twice his size. Wow. And also, Kirby tossed a Wiggler into space as well, which that's also quite impressive too. And that's pretty much his strength as of right now.
So, how much on average would you say King DDD weighs?
Well, okay. In the anime, he's much fatter, but based on my calculations, he's probably at least 200 pounds.
That's not really that heavy. That's about the weight of an average human.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Kirby is a lot smaller than King Dedede. And I mean a lot smaller. Because Kirby's at least maybe only 15, 20 pounds.
Huh. Well, then again, how much weight do you expect from a penguin?
Well, that's true. I mean, it's not like penguins can't get any fatter like that.
So, how much would you say the Wiggler weighed when Kirby threw it into space?
I don't know, maybe 200, 300 pounds. Like, I mean, that'd be best in my calculations right there.
Well, that's pretty cool.
I know, right? I mean, you would think that Kirby would be able to do that, considering how Kirby's that small.
Well, you know what they say. Big things come in small packages.
Well, that's true. Now, that'd be kind of funny if Kirby was in a small package. And I'm sorry, I just had to say that. That'd be so funny.
Lol. So Kirby can throw a 300-pound giant caterpillar out of the gravity of his planet into space. Damn! If he was in the javelin event, I wouldn't want to try my luck against him.
Who knows? Maybe they'll do a Sonic and Kirby at the Olympic Games.
or Sega and Nintendo.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, Sega Nintendo with the Olympic Games, yeah, that's a better idea. Yeah, Kirby the javelin throw, he probably gets up like maybe 200 meters or something.
But if he can throw something that heavy into space, don't you think he could get way over 200 meters? Cause from Earth to our atmosphere, it's near enough 10,000 miles straight up.
Well, you do have a point. Maybe 300, 400 meters at least.
Javelins aren't that heavy. Unless they
That's why I said I don't even know. Sorry, I don't even know how far Kirby would be able to do that. Like, throw it.
Well, we don't always have to compare them to real life things because, well, what's the point? Because, well, what do we learn when we try and make fictional characters like real life? We get nowhere.
True.
And now, now it's my turn for Mokujin's strength. Not alone, Mokujin doesn't really have any strength, but when he copies Jack's ability, who in the series of Tekken is an android, by the way, Jax can on average lift over 5 tons, and is strong enough to hold off 200 men. Or the other person who I think would be good for strength would have to be like Heihachi Mishima, who is somehow strong enough to judo toss a freaking column of stone over a distance of 3 miles. When I found that out, I was like, what? That old geezer did that? And because Mokujin can copy literally every character in Tekken, every character in the game that he's in at the time, because sadly there's no Tekken anime. So yeah, while he is limited, he basically can copy every character from Tekken. So yeah, those are his two people he can use those are the two peoples he can use his copy ability for strength for.
That's really good.
You got any questions for me?
Well, not in that category anyway, no.
You sure? I've been asking you plenty of questions.
Well, I just can't really think of any right now.
Okay, come back to me on that when we get to the final part in the final discussion. And the next part we move on to will be technique. And now we are on to techniques. Oh boy, this is gonna be a doozy. So, Dominic, tell us about Kirby's techniques.
Well, it all depends on what element Kirby eats, and I have 3 of them. The first example, if Kirby eats a fire enemy, he will blow out fire. Another example is if Kirby eats an ice enemy, he will be able to ice skate and turn enemies into little icicles, and he can kick them as well. And the last example is that if Kirby eats an enemy that has needles, he'll eat that just fine, and he can protect himself he'll be able to protect himself with the spikes that he has. Kind of similar to like a porcupine, which I actually kind of like that ability, despite that one being kind of pointless. But at least it's not as pointless as the sleep ability, at least, because all that does is Kirby, he just sleeps and does nothing else in that ability.
Lol. So, how does Kirby obtain these abilities?
Well, it's actually kind of simple. Like, in order for the ability to get obtained by him, so let's just say, for example, Kirby gets to an enemy that has a sword. And so what Kirby will do is he'll open his mouth. He will then suck him up and eat him. And if he eats him, he'll get a sword copy ability, and boom, he has a sword ability. And he can get rid of his copy ability at any time. Unless he takes damage. Because if he takes damage, then he'll lose the copy ability right away.
What kind of damage? Like, great or minimal?
Well, I guess it all depends. Like, I guess it depends on the game. Like, cause, like, for example, in Kirby's Adventure, if he takes any kind of damage, he'll lose a copy ability, unless he sucks it back up. Because if he loses the copy ability, it will turn into a star. But if Kirby eats it again, he'll be able to get the copy ability back. But if the star breaks, he won't turn back into it anymore. However, in future games, like Kirby Triple Deluxe, he'll only lose a copy ability if he takes a lot of damage. It's like, for example, a giant thunderbolt. But in Kirby Triple Deluxe, same thing. It will turn into a star if he loses damage, or he takes damage. But if he eats it back up, he'll be able to turn it back into his usual self that he turned into from before. But the thing is, in Kirby Triple Deluxe, the star doesn't last as long compared to Kirby's Adventure.
Huh. So you're saying it depends on how great the hit is?
Yup, but it depends on the game, of course. But yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but can't Kirby take an almost near intense amount of damage if he absorbs someone's abilities on Smash Brothers?
Well, I mean, okay, that's true, but the only time Kirby loses, like, a copy ability in Smash is if, like, he dies or he taunts. I mean, I know, it's kind of weird, considering how, it's just different, but it's just the way how Nintendo programmed Smash. So I can't really answer it that well, but I guess we could say that Kirby's stronger in Smash. But otherwise, I can't really answer it, that well.
Maybe we can consider which version of Kirby would do better against Mokujin later in the final discussion.
Yeah, I guess we could do that.
Alright then. Now moving on. So I suppose for Mokujin, in terms of techniques, it all depends on which character he copies. Cause I don't know. That it all really depends. If he copies a person who knows Kung Fu, he'll know Kung Fu straight away. If he copies a boxer, he'll know boxing. Just depends on which character from Tekken he copies.
Well, unless you already said it, but how does he copy such abilities?
Oh, it's quite simple, really. Remember how I said he used to be a training dummy?
I do remember that.
Well, funny thing is, because of him being a training dummy, almost every character in Tekken used him literally as a training dummy. And because he was somewhat alive during that time, he was able to remember how those characters fought, and he was able to use that to fight other people. But the other way he does it is, it's kind of funny and weird, and at the same time, I don't know if it would be a good thing to do in the middle of a battle unless he has time. But generally, when you play the game Tekken and you play as him, he puts his arms like to his sides, like not to his like to the sides of his body. Like he'll stick them both out, like both out straight, and because he's made of wood, he can spin his head all the way around multiple times, and I suppose that's kind of like him acting like a satellite in a way, like he's searching for another character to copy, and I don't know, either depending on how close they are or wherever they are, or I don't know how it works, but if it works like a satellite, I suppose it's like he looks for like a nearby character who he thinks will do good against this person he's fighting. Like, say he's fighting someone who's a boxer, he'll scan and, I don't know, maybe think, ooh, this karate person will do good. Or, I suppose, in other terms, he's doing that spinning head thing to kind of jog his memory of other people he might have trained with, because even though he never forgets anything, I suppose he might have a bit of a bad memory, I guess. But I don't know how he do it. The only other way I can think of is that he uses the power of nature, because he's a nature spirit, to kind of connect to the mind when he does that spinning head thing, and I suppose it doesn't matter who it is, he just copies someone randomly. Even though he can pick himself, usually in the game, it's completely random who you get to play as next.
Oh, that's cool, really. That's really cool, too.
So it's not as fancy as like Kirby's swallow up and copy them that way. And if I remember correctly from Death Battle, isn't his stomach a separate dimension?
On Kirby?
Yeah, I could swear that's a thing. Like in the anime, if he swallows someone, his stomach is technically another dimension.
Huh. I don't remember noticing that. Huh. Well, that's actually kind of interesting. But that kind of explains why he can eat like unlimited.
Unless he's kind of like Majin Buu from Dragon Ball Z, because whenever Majin Buu absorbed someone, he could have their abilities as well. And I don't know how that was explained, but it's usually because they're stuck in his body permanently, and so through connecting to their brain with his body, that's how he gains their abilities, I think. So unless Kirby does the same like that, I don't know how else he does it. But anywho, I think we can all just say, okay, he eats them, and he has their abilities after he does that. Cool. So let's just do us both a favor and just stick to the basic. He eats them, he gets their ability.
Yep.
And the funny thing is about Mokujin, he doesn't need to eat, like at all. He doesn't need food. I think he might need water because he basically is a tree of sorts, but he doesn't technically need food. So, I don't know if that's a technique or not, or just a natural ability, but it's something. Right, there we go. And now we will move on to the powers of each character.
What?
And now we are on to power. So Dominic, tell us, what is Kirby's power?
Well, this is kind of a repeat of Kirby's techniques, but his power is that he can have any power as long as he absorbs it.
Huh. That's pretty cool.
It's like for example, if Kirby eats a fighting type enemy, then he gets like kung fu or martial arts or whatever, you know. So, as an example.
So that's his ability. So that's his power, the ability to copy people once he's absorbed them.
Yep.
Huh. Well, how about that? And I suppose for Mokujin is basically the same. Depending on which fighter he copies, that's the power he has. So if it's like, I don't know, like martial law, he'll have like chi, cause kung fu fighters use chi to give him more power when they fight. But if there's someone like Devil Jin, I suppose he uses like devil powers. Like, I don't know what it's exactly called, but I suppose it'd be kind of called like evil ki or something, or I don't know what the technical name for it is, but it's like just evil power. So the only other but besides his copy ability, I don't know if this is canon or not, but because he's a nature spirit, I thought his natural power would be, I don't know, just nature. Like, I don't know, say there's a plant that's dying, and if he touches it, it'll grow to life again. It'd be amazing if somehow he can like control plants, but I doubt it. But I suppose this is just a theory, mostly, or speculation, I guess. But because he's a nature spirit, I think to myself, doesn't that mean he can get more power if he's in nature, like a forest? So if that was true, then that should be the only other. That should be like a power thing. If not, if I'm wrong, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm right, yay. But if not, oh well. I suppose his only ability is to copy other people as well. So yeah, that's basically it for powers. Both of our characters almost basically just copy other people's powers. Not much.
Really neat.
I suppose the only other thing we could say about power is maybe greatest feat, but I doubt we need to. I mean, cause it literally depends. Cause if Kirby absorbs someone like, I don't know, like say Ryu from Street Fighter, all of Ryu's greatest feats of power are literally now Kirby, so it wouldn't exactly be fair. So yeah, well, we won't say greatest feat of power, we'll just say what power they have, which we did. So we shall move on. Are you ready for the final part, Dominic?
I am ready.
Right, and the final part is martial arts / fighting. And now we are on to martial arts / fighting. So Dom, what fighting abilities do Kirby have?
Well, kind of similar to Kirby's power, but if Kirby eats a fighter copy ability, he automatically learns a lot of martial arts, like grabbing people and like throwing them and kicking and all that, which are pretty useful for Kirby. He can kind of fight without the need of a fighter copy ability, but his regular attacks will not do a lot of damage. Unless you're playing Smash Brothers, where he's kind of powerful.
We'll leave that up to debate in the final discussion.
Okay then.
Right. But Mokujin's fighting ability is, well, it's literally his best ability. Copy. No matter who he is, he knows their martial art. So if it's like martial art, he knows Kung Fu. If it's like Jin, he knows karate. Literally, anyone he picks from Tekken, he knows their martial arts. So he almost has no limit to martial arts ability. And even thanks to like Eddie, I don't know his last name, but there's a character in Tekken called Eddie who does dance fighting. Who knows?
Wow.
I might even do a stick pivot of this and make Mokujin breakdance. Just imagine that, like in the middle of the fight, Mokujin's like, stop, hammer time, and he breakdances. Anywho, so yeah, that's basically it, I suppose. So depending on whatever character Mokujin copies, he has the martial arts. It's kind of a shame. It's kind of a shame that normal Kirby doesn't know much fighting, but Brawl Kirby knows a lot.
Well, unless, Brawl, Smash, whatever, Kirby knows quite a bit. But yes, you may as well forget about logic because it's the way how it is.
Yeah. Alright, so there we are for all the stats. And now we move on to the best part of it, the final discussion. And, how about this? How about we just discuss? How about we have no scenario?
Yeah, because remember what happened that last time?
Mm-hmm. Alright. Alright, now, so we move on to the and now we are on to the final discussion. Now, for personal preference, how I usually do my who would wins, I personally like to do my discussion based on who's better at what. So we almost kind of have to go back to the stats in a way. So we kind of need to discuss who's faster. So tell us again how fast Kirby is. Blah blah. Sorry. Tell us again how fast Kirby is.
Well, remember what I said about the Warp Star? But that went at like 100 miles an hour or so. So I would at least assume Kirby would run at like maybe 120 or 130 miles an hour, since he was able to catch up to it.
That's about the speed of an average car. Like the top speed of an average car almost.
I know that's not fast, but
hey, I'm not knocking it. That's faster than most Olympic runners.
Well, I guess that's true.
Well, I don't know, cause I want to be as fair as I possibly can. The only way Kirby can fly is thanks to the Warp Star, isn't it? Unless he aren't there people in the game that have like ability that can give him the ability to have wings or something?
I guess he doesn't really have any ability to, okay, technically he does have wings in in his copy ability, but he doesn't fly. Instead, he has like this bow and arrow. But in the Kirby games, without the need of help of the copy abilities, Kirby can, like fly without the need of any copy ability, especially in Kirby's Adventure.
So
because he can float slash fly as long as he wants.
but doesn't he eventually run out of like the ability to float? Cause
Nope, because okay, unless you want to talk about Smash. In Smash, he can only do that 5 times. But in the games, he can do it as long as he wants.
So Kirby has an infinite float ability.
That's basically what he has.
But someone tells me he's not very fast when he does it.
Not necessarily. I mean, I guess we could argue that it takes forever for him to fly. But if he wants to descend, all he has to do is breathe out, and then he'll go back to normal and just go on his merry way.
So his
because when he flies, he basically holds his breath, but for some reason he can hold it as long as he wants for some reason, and when he wants to breathe out, he just breathes out and he turns back to normal.
So for his flying, he kind of acts like a balloon.
Yep, it's like a balloon.
So now I'm trying to be fair here, but would you argue that Mokujin is faster at flying than Kirby is?
To be fair, yes, because if you play the games, he is quite slow. I mean, okay, he's quite slow of flying up, unless you play Smash, but he is quite fast when it comes to going down.
Yeah, because if I remember correctly, once Devil Jin was fast enough to fly, I'm trying to remember what he did, but he was like flying in midair, and he was going so fast that there was like this giant enemy, and it could not hit him. And I know normally giant enemies are naturally slow, but this one was actually pretty fast considering. But the only other thing I remember him doing with flying is like, I don't know if I saw him do it, but it almost looked like he broke the sound barrier. I don't know if that was something else or not, but if I was to say, I don't know how fast he really could be, but I would say maybe at average, Mokujin's flying ability would be at least 200 miles per hour. So with that in mind, if it comes down to flying, Mokujin has the advantage in terms of speed. But now we need to argue who's faster on land. Well, not really.
Well, that's true, because like you said, on land he can run quite fast. Because like I said, he probably runs like 130 miles an hour.
And as far as I remember, thanks to Yoshimitsu's ninja run ability, he's just would you say being able to dodge is blah blah blah? I can't speak. Would you say being able to dodge really fast is like being actually fast on your feet, or do you reckon that's like reaction speed?
Well, I guess it's both. I guess because if Kirby sees something's about to attack him, he can actually dodge it quite quick.
No, I meant for Mokujin, because Yoshimitsu was Yoshimitsu was dodging a Gatling gun at one point in like the Tekken game, and I know Mokujin can basically do the same thing thanks to the copy ability.
Huh.
Oh, this is tough. So, I know while Yoshimitsu didn't dodge that many, but, oh god, this is a pickle.
Yeah, we're in a pickle here.
Okay, let's see. Gatling guns fire pretty fast, but he wasn't running that fast normally. Alright, I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I don't know if it is true or not. If anyone can help us in the comments, please do help us. But I don't know. I feel like on land, both Mokujin and Kirby might be even in terms of speed.
Well, I guess you have a point there.
So, do you agree that maybe on land they might be even in speed?
Yep, I will agree to that.
So, if it was in air, Mokujin is faster, but on land, Mokujin and Kirby both can seem to outspeed each other. Well, that was a tough pickle. Okay, so we got yeah, that was speed. Alright, now we need to discuss who's stronger. Oh, this is gonna be good. So remind us again, like, what you think is like the greatest ability of strength for Kirby.
You want to know about his strength in Kirby, like
just remind us again what his greatest what the greatest thing.
Well, it's like the two things I mentioned. Where Kirby, where he lifts up King Dedede, and that's, since that's quite impressive considering King Dedede is twice his size, and Kirby also tosses Wiggler into space as well.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't he also throw him into space on a giant frying pan?
Yeah, he did.
Okay, first off, how did he find a frying pan that big? Secondly, how did he throw him in a frying pan that far out when a frying pan's made out of metal? The frying pan alone would weigh over 2 tons.
I know this sounds kind of funny, but it's just sadly my memory is kind of bad, so it's not like I remember a whole lot of or any of that.
Well, then again, what do you expect? It's anime.
Oh, that's true.
So, oh boy, that is actually cool. Now, you said the Wiggler would weigh, I don't know, maybe about 300 pounds. Okay, I'm trying to think. Mario's around about 5 foot tall, right?
That's right.
And Wigglers are at least 10 times his size, are they not?
Yes. I mean, like, because after all, they're just, twice the size.
So if Mario's like 5 foot in average of height, and a Wiggler is near enough 10 times his size, 10 times 5 is 50. Wigglers would be an average of 50 feet tall. And I don't know if that means 50 feet tall from nose to butt or from foot to top of noggin. Most likely the first one. So Kirby managed to throw something that big, which probably weighs maybe 300 pounds, on a frying pan bigger than that thing. And as we all know, metal is denser and more heavier than organic material. So he not only threw a possible 300-pound caterpillar into space, he threw a giant frying pan, which was bigger than that thing, which for some reason I feel like would weigh over 2 tons. So Kirby literally might have just thrown over 3 tons straight into space out of the orbit of Dreamland. And we don't even know what the gravity is on Dreamland. We don't know if it's the same.
Wow! No, I just can't stop laughing. That's just so funny.
I mean, seriously. Like, I know Mario can, like, toss Bowser and he's pretty heavy, but damn, Kirby's strong. Kirby might just win this one. I mean, because, sure, while 3 tons doesn't seem a whole lot to compared to other anime characters, but you gotta think, he threw maybe over 3 tons through whatever gravity his planet has straight into space. We don't even know how heavy the frying pan really is. I was just lowballing how heavy it could be. For all we know, the frying pan could weigh 10 tons. We don't know how heavy the freaking frying pan would be. We don't even know if the Wiggler is 300 pounds. The Wiggler could be measured in tons as well. So we may never know Kirby's maximum strength. Oh boy, it's hard. This one's gonna be hard to argue. Oh, I'm in a pickle. So yeah. For Mokujin, oh boy. Sure, while Jax the android can lift about 20 tons, like, over his head, pretty well, that was only thanks to him getting an upgrade. Otherwise, before he got an upgrade, he could only, I don't know, maybe lift about 8 tons. While that seems still pretty impressive, I don't think that quite stacks up to what Kirby just did. And while, sure, Heihachi Mishima's column throwing feat was amazing, I don't think that even comes close to what Kirby did, because he didn't throw it straight. He threw it upwards, through gravity, into space. That is literally insane. So, yeah, no matter which character I pick for Mokujin's strength, sad to say, Kirby is probably a lot stronger. Shite. Well, there you go. I hate to admit it, but I think Kirby might be stronger than Mokujin.
Well, I actually didn't think Kirby would actually win that.
Cause sure, while a regular stone column the ones in Rome weigh about 3 tons in weight, and Heihachi did throw it about 3 miles. Think about it, that's only 3 miles on straight forward. If Kirby's planet if Dreamland is anything like Earth, and as I just said, it takes well over 10,000 miles to get from the surface of Earth into our atmosphere. Kirby not only did that, throwing a giant frying pan with a wiggler on, he went beyond and threw that wiggler right next to his freaking sun. And if his sun is the same distance as Earth is to the sun in our solar system, that is well over 1 billion miles. Holy fucking shit. And correct me if I'm wrong, didn't that thing fall backwards? Even though in space there's no gravity, so how the hell did it fall backwards when it got to the sun? That is literally
I don't know how to say it.
Kirby literally defied the laws of physics. Damn. So, in terms of strength, Kirby stomps Mokujin. No amount of flying is gonna help him against that. Wow, wow. Okay then. Now, oh boy, this one's gonna be a doozy. I'll be ready for this for the third part. We have to either discuss or end up arguing whose technique is better. Oh boy.
Well, it's just, like Kirby, where whatever that Kirby sucks up, he'll be able to copy that ability.
Well, that's the thing. I know we're not doing a scenario, but where would they be? Because if they were on Dreamland, Kirby would have a better advantage over Mokujin. But if Kirby, maybe in Dreamland they'd be in like grassy greens or something. Well, maybe, but still Kirby has the ability to absorb all of the inhabitants, so Mokujin would still be at a disadvantage. But then again, if they were to fight in the world of Tekken, Mokujin would have a slight advantage over Kirby, because Kirby literally can't. Because I don't think Kirby can just literally run away to absorb a random fighter. So if we were to do a scenario, where would we place him? In just a neutral world, and they just have to either already have the copy abilities at the ready, or somehow find some, or do we take people from their worlds with them so they can copy them? That's the only thing we have to take into consideration. If there was a scenario where
can we just like put them in like in a battlefield from like Sprawl or something?
But that's the thing. Okay, this is where it ties in. Kirby almost seems to have almost every character's abilities in Brawl. Like, for some reason in Brawl, I can't speak. When I see Kirby, in the games he doesn't naturally have a sword, but in Brawl he has a sword when you do his upward attack.
Well, same thing in Smash, except in in Kirby's final Smash he has this giant sword.
Well, that's what I mean. Like in the Smash Bros games, when you do the upwards B move, like the upward special, Kirby goes up with his sword, comes down and fires a small little energy projectile out of the sword. So unless we use Brawl Kirby who somehow has so many abilities from his world, if we were to use like anime Kirby, we have to consider, do we bring some of the inhabitants from Dreamland so Kirby can have someone to copy, or do we have Kirby somehow already have them in his stomach to copy later? There's so many variables. It's too hard.
Wow, I don't even know either.
I mean, because no matter where you put them, even if we were to put them in like a battle arena like in Smash Brothers, I suppose it wouldn't matter, because Mokujin still remembers the Tekken characters no matter where he is. So unless we put them somewhere similar to Dreamland where Kirby can absorb someone, even if we I don't know, there's too many things to think about, too many things to consider. This one's impossible. I don't think we can say who has a better technique. If it's in Dreamland,
can we just get a draw or something?
Yep. And shall we also agree on, like, I don't know, power as well?
Yeah, we may as well agree. So we may as well agree that it's a draw on that as well.
Oh, so there you go, guys. There's too many variables. So in techniques and power, it's a draw. Oh boy. And I very much doubt that Mokujin's possible nature power could make much of a difference anyway.
Well, I still have fun doing this.
Yeah. My god, that third one had way too many variables. It had too many things to consider. My brain nearly exploded.
Well, at least one thing that Kirby at least one thing that they have in common is they both can copy abilities, or they can just copy.
Who knows? Maybe they'll stop in the middle of the fight and become friends.
That's exactly what I was going to say as well.
So, here we go. Martial arts. Oh boy. Now this one's a doozy.
Yeah, considering that Kirby, if he eats a fighter enemy, then he turns into a fighter, which allows him to learn martial arts.
And Mokujin literally has an entire arsenal of fighters in his memory banks to pick from. He could pick anyone and they still be good. Hell, there's even a character in Tekken that's literally a boxing kangaroo. And I'm not joking, a kangaroo that boxes. It wears boxing gloves and it boxes you. He can copy that creature as well. That literally makes no goddamn sense.
Okay, well that's really funny.
I don't know. I hate to say it. I don't know if you'll agree with me, but I feel like Mokujin might have a better advantage when it comes to fighting.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it, especially considering that Tekken has more powerful characters than compared to Kirby does.
I don't know. I'm fine. I would like to see what would happen if DDD faced Heihachi.
Oh well. So I do agree with you there, though.
Oh boy, so there we go, guys. So when it comes to speed in the air, Mokujin is faster, but on land they're even. In terms of techniques and power, they're even. In terms of martial arts, Mokujin just has a better variety. So now it just comes down to the final thing. Who would win? That's literally the name of the series. Which fighter would win? Would it be the pink absorbing mascot of Nintendo, or would it be the wooden warrior of Tekken? Who would win? Please tell me, Dominic, who do you think would win?
I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's just like you said that he has more variety than because Kirby, but in terms of fighting skill,
no,
I would say that
this is just overall. No,
I hate to say that.
Okay, but overall,
Kirby would lose.
What? Okay, overall, which character?
I said Kirby would lose. I hate to say it.
You think Mokujin might just take the win?
Well, I'm sorry, but it's just that in terms of fighting and martial arts, in terms of that, I'm sorry, but Kirby would have no good at fighting.
Huh. Well, that's funny, because I thought Mokujin would do good, but I don't know why, but if there was a random scenario, I feel like Kirby might just resort to absorbing him. Because isn't that how defeats some of his enemies in his games by absorbing them.
Well, that's true, but we're talking about an actual fighter here.
True, even if Kirby was to try and absorb him, Mokujin can fly away, and I don't know how powerful Kirby's supernova suction move is, but I don't know. What would happen if Kirby uses supernova suck?
Yeah, but he can't get that unless he eats this hypernova fruit.
Huh. So even if he was to eat a hypernova fruit, how great is his suction?
The suction is quite massive, especially in Kirby Triple Deluxe. When he eats it, it's so powerful and it's so good. Like, I don't know how to describe it. It's just so good.
Even if Kirby was to try that, there's sadly one problem. Thanks to Yoshimitsu, Mokujin can technically teleport. Sure, it's not very...
Yeah, that's why I said that Kirby would not have a chance against him, so...
Oh boy, guys. So, there you go, from Dominic Anderson himself. A big Nintendo fan has admitted that one of the most powerful characters in Tekken would beat Kirby. I'm absolutely...
However, if you think that Kirby would win, who knows? Maybe you have a different theory than mine.
Well, I don't know, because I thought if Kirby did somehow manage to absorb him, that would be the end of Mokujin. Because, as far as I know, when Kirby absorbs an enemy, they basically die when he decides to swallow.
Well, that's true.
Unless, I don't know, there's many variables, but yeah, I think if we were to disclude the whole sucking thing, Kirby may be incredibly strong, but in terms of better fighting and all that, Mokujin just manages to beat Kirby.
That's why I said I hate to say it, but yeah, Kirby would lose.
So, looks like quantity over quality won this bout. There we go. That's the end of the video, guys. Thank you for joining me today, Dominic Anderson.
Well, of course.
Guys, that was tough. I honestly thought, because Death Bell made a video about Kirby against Majin Buu, I thought for some reason Mokujin might just not win this, but turns out Mokujin's more powerful than I realized. I must have picked a really good character. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and do not worry, the video of Natsu versus Naruto will come soon. If you liked it, leave a like, leave a comment on what you want to see me do next. Subscribe to Georgia Hedgehog Army /Nation today. Also leave a suggestion down in the comments below or on Google Plus on who you would want to see me discuss about next in my Who Would Win. And maybe if I'm lucky, I'll bring back my good friend Dominic Anderson. Anyway, would you like to say goodbye to the viewers, Mr. Anderson?
Bye, and thanks for watching.
Also, make sure you like and subscribe to Dominic, who does incredible gameplays. And stay off.
Those are the only videos I can do at the moment.
Well, It doesn't matter what you can do, as long as you do it. And stay awesome, guys!